Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. We're live right now with PGL F1 Sunday Division, getting ready for round 6 of 23, and it's a Singapore Grand Prix, one of the most interesting races that we can have along with Monaco there, and it's going to be quite interesting with a night race here. So getting started with our short qualifying session here right now, we got 19 drivers on the track. We got a few drivers starting to get out already, guys, and if you guys haven't done so already, please make sure you guys leave a like on the stream, guys, and make sure if you're new here, subscribe to the channel as I get a few things sorted with the stream so we can get started with this qualifying session here. Okay, so let's have a look at our grid that we got there. I think we got a few different drivers in the league currently racing here today. So we're going to have a look at the grid as it is right now. We got a few drivers out, getting started with their out laps. And let's have a look how that's going to go here. And hello, gamer. Thank you for joining on once again here. And yes, I did know that it's working on the PS5. We have a few drivers in this league as well that plays the game on the PS5, and some of them that do it on the PS4. So let's have a look. We got 15.5 minutes left in qualifying. Our grid as it is right now, we got Sniper there, we got Codfish, Fat Mamba, we got Scooby, I got Beefy, we got Little Etty, there's Ethan there, Walker, we got Butler, we got Sofdar, we got Maddie there, Haywood, DT Bears, Mr. Ray joining us there, Dean, Jay Kelly, we got Vintage, we got Mad Nathan there, we got Vans Racing and Seb there. So quite an interesting grid of drivers. We're going to see how everyone gets on through as we get this session going here. So it's a pretty interesting track for driving around Singapore here. A lot of lights lighting this track up. I think about 20,000, 60,000, somewhere about that. I'm not even sure how much it is. I used to know the number, but already can't remember at this point. So we're going to start to see some lap time start to come in here very, very shortly. And we'll see how competitive this grid is about to get. Going down to DT Devs here right now, where he's here on track. He's getting started already with his hot lap going through. And we're going to keep on doing very camp with him. Let's see how he finishes that lap and if he's able to get a pretty good, interesting qualifying time in. We're going to see how competitive this is going to get as well. Do I know any PC leagues? Oh, not PS4. No, I actually don't know any PC leagues that race. I'm not sure if anyone right here races any PC leagues, but because I don't have this game currently on PC, that's why I don't know any PC leagues. I know quite a few, well, I know a lot of PS4 leagues and quite a few Xbox leagues, but not any PC leagues that do this here. So currently we got some lap times coming in. Let's see what's happening there. We got DT Bevs 136.2 so far. Codfish with a 139.9. It's going to be a bit interesting with lap times as we get through the first round of lap time. Oh, we got quite a few more coming in. Vans Racing 142.1. Seb goes 139.068. Butler 136.6. And we got some carbon fiber flying around the track there coming off, I think, probably from that McLaren. I'm not sure. Or probably that was just stuck on track from before. So quite a few lap times already in here. And yep, let's get a few stats up on screen. Forgot about that. Telemetry on, everything on, so you guys can have a look what's happening there. And even with tires as it is, we'll keep that on even for this session as we go on through, so you guys can see what tires these guys are currently running their lap on. But actually, we'll just have a look at that at the end. You guys can see that through the formation lap when the guys do get started. I'm trying to keep the screen as clear as we can so we can have a look at these cars as they get on through. Okay, so let's actually get a bit settled in here right now. Let's follow my good friend Ethan here. Let's see where he is on track. On his hot lap right now, going through and gets a purple sector 2. So going on for a pretty good lap right now, that Alfa Romeo. Let's see if he finishes his lap on a good note there. So currently, Haywood, they're holding on to fastest lap time in the session at 125.8. Not too bad at all. DT Bears with a 126.2. He's now down to second with that lap time. Butler, they're holding on to 126.6 into P3. Fat Mamba 137.014 and Seb there in P5. That's his teammate 139.068. Doing pretty well so far. Hey Trem, thank you for joining on the stream. Been a while since I've actually seen you on the stream, man, so thank you very much for joining on. Oh, and that's eating up into P2 now, 126.021, not too bad. And Trem is here to check out, we got Butler and Sniper, two drivers from his league there from Slide Dog Racing League. So hopefully two good drivers we have joining this league here as well. So let's see how these guys are going to perform here for PGL. We actually know how well they are racing here. And hey Peter, thank you for joining on as well here. Good to have you on stream as well here. So third stream for the day, guys. I'm probably not feeling too tired. Have a bit of energy drink, so not feeling too tired right now about this one. Usually I'm tired out by the third stream for the day, but I'm feeling pretty good so far today. Had a bit of sleep, probably about 30 minutes for the day. So that helps. That actually helps. Before we actually got onto ISRL earlier in the day. So third stream for the day for me is going pretty well. We do have one stream tomorrow, so we're going to look forward to that as well. So far, guys, Haywood still holds on to fastest lap time in this session. Let's go on down to DXC Maddie here. He's currently on his hot lap getting through sector 1 only. So we're going to have a look. Let's have a look on board with him actually as he gets on through. I want to follow someone on board that's doing a pretty good lap around here. Where is Vintage on track right now? Where is Dean actually? He's still getting around quite a bit there. I see DTBF is already getting back out on another outlap at the moment. A few drivers still yet to get out on track and try to get some sort of lap time in here. So get on back to Maddie here and see he's done a purple sector 1 on this lap so far. So far so good with him as he's going on through. Let's see where he's going to go by the time we get to the end of qualifying here as everyone getting pushed down gets the pit. But a few more drivers still yet to get out. We got, who's in the pit still? Quite a few drivers. We got Scooby, Beefy Walker. We got Sofdar there. And we still got Maddie yet to make lap times. Mr. Rage, D and J Kelly, and Mad Nathan down at the bottom there as well. And he's not having the best of lap here right now. So not sure how well this lap is going to go for him. But we have quite a few out laps going there right now. Oh, actually still a purple sector 2 from him. I saw him twitch around for just a bit. I thought that might have been a bad sector there, but he's still getting on through pretty well. Being in Singapore, guys, we'll be seeing a lot of yellow flags as we get on through with the qualifying session here. So 9.5 minutes left in quali here to go. Going to be interesting getting down to the end to see the final round of lap times that we are going to have getting posted. But and that's an invalidated lap. He went a little bit too much on that curb there and messed that up. Unfortunate, he's going to have to try that again. So let's see how that goes when he does get back out on track. So let Dean here on a lap here right now. I'm going to stay on board with Dean as he gets on through this lap to see a pretty good lap around Singapore here. Always an interesting lap. Not an easy lap to get through. Really does need a lot of practice on this track to avoid those barriers, which are so pretty close off, much like Monaco and Azerbaijan. So always going to be interesting to see how that goes. I did have a race stream at Azerbaijan today if you guys want to have a look at that earlier off. So that was a pretty interesting one as well. I probably go through quite a few tracks for a week with the amount of streams that we do. To everyone joining on the stream right now, guys, welcome to all of you who are joining on the stream, and make sure you guys are giving the video a like, and make sure if you're new here and make sure you subscribe, and if you want to share the stream out, please feel free to do that. And remember, we do have a link in the channel in the video description to join onto our channel Discord if you guys want to have a chat with all the drivers from the different leagues that we have. Feel free to do that. And there's also a request league channel there. If you got a new league in there that we're not sure of, we can always add a channel if you guys need to have something sorted through in that there as well. Tomorrow, who am I streaming tomorrow? Tomorrow we're doing Next Level Racing League tomorrow. I forgot which round it is. I don't have it on my calendar as yet, so I can't remember what race we have tomorrow with them. But we do have a race tomorrow with NLRL. That's Next Level Racing League. I know we have them tomorrow. Then we have L2S F2 on Tuesday, PGL F1 Wednesday Division on Wednesday. So I know that's up to that point. I haven't sorted my calendar on my phone through as yet, so not really too much familiar with what's going on with that. So far we got Dean with a 135.1, goes fastest in the session so far. Now 7.5 minutes left on here. Let's see how the rest of the session progresses on through, because we got about 11 drivers currently with lap times in. Haywood now down to second, Eaton down to third, DTBF down to fourth, Butler fifth, Fat number 6. Let's see how the rest. Oh, we got a bit of switch happening as a few drivers now are getting their lap times in. Safdar there, driver haven't seen race here before. Let's see how well he gets through. Invalidated lap so far, so he's gonna have to try that again. Scooby here running through and trying to get a lap time in the Mercedes. Hopefully gets a good lap in. Let's have a look on how that's going. Oh, and that's an invalidated lap. Unfortunately there, he's gonna have to try that again. We got Beefy in the Red Bull. He's out trying to get a lap in right now. His teammate Walker is still into the pits. He loves to get out at the very last second of a qualifying session and make his debut lap time in. Well, not debut lap, his fastest lap time in. He usually tends to do that. Always gets out at the very last point of the session to make a good lap time in. But we'll see if he gets a good go at it when he does get out, because he might want to account for an invalidated lap here, being it's Singapore. But let's see how good he's going to be driving here when he does get out on track and when we get started with this race. Now guys, we got 19 drivers in the session to get started for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. So I think it's going to be interesting with the race start as it's going to be. Definitely we're going to have a lot of contact between cars as we get through the opening lap. So I'm not sure how bad it's going to be, if we're going to be having some major contact, having some damaged cars, and maybe have a VSC if we have a lot of debris on track, or maybe get straight into a full-on safety car, depending on how this goes for the race start. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm not sure. Still following on through with Beefy here right now to see where his lap time is going to be. And why on earth did he switch to that position for a second there? That was a bit weird for a second. Well, so far so good here. Let's see. We still got a few drivers yet to get a time in. I see Mad Nathan trying to get a lap time in there as well. Scooby's going to have to retry his lap. We got 5.5 minutes left. They still have enough time to get this done. So let's see how fast these guys are going to get to move on with this, because they want to just try and get at least a good lap time in before the end of the session here. And guys, in case you guys do hear any irregularities during the stream with the mic in terms of the audio level or whatever, just let me know, because I do sometimes have to adjust the height of which I have the mic on the little boom stand thing that's on here, because sometimes it's closer to me, sometimes it's a bit further away, and I'm really not paying attention to it. Let me just make sure the setting is correct here right now. Yeah, it's on the correct setting. It was a bit off on the first stream because I really didn't notice. That little knob down the bottom is so sensitive to touch, so I gotta be careful with that as well. So BV goes P7 right now, 136.6. Pretty good lap so far. Let's have a look out front, see who else is currently running. Haywood on a lap here right now, trying to get a better lap in. 135.3 so far. He's about 2 tenths off, off of Dean's time there. So not doing too bad with the competitive lap times that's getting in here. So we'll see how well these guys get through by the time this qualifying session is over. But so far so good. I gotta say, with the 136 and 137s that we have going down there and the 135, I think it's gonna be quite an interesting start. So really looking forward to see what's going to happen on that race start. We definitely expect a lot of contact between cars, though, getting through turns 1, 2, and 3. So going to be interesting to see how that works out. And Haywood definitely not doing a hot lap here, getting to the side, allowing someone to get through. So where is Butler right now? Is he doing a hot lap? Might be on a hot lap here going through. Let's have a look at that Racing Point. Is he able to get a faster time in here right now or not? So far so good, though. He has P6 for the start of this race, if he is able to hold on to that. Got about 3 minute 40 seconds or so left in the session. Not a lot of time, but still enough time to these guys to actually work through and try to get a good time. We finally got Walker out on track, trying to get a better time, trying to get any sort of lap time in here. Let's have a look at what he's doing right now. So he seems to be flying around the track there at the moment, trying to get a good lap time in. And he invalidates that one there, so as I said, he does have to account for that happening, so he's going to have to try that again. Probably going to try it on the same set of tires that he has on there right now. We'll have a look. It's about 3 minutes left in the session, so he's going to have to be careful about what he's going to be choosing to do here right now. If he's going to do another lap on these tires or get back in the pits and try to get back out. As he's approaching the pit entrance here right now. Let's see if he's getting back into the pits or not. No, I think he's going on. He's going to go and do another lap on these same tires that he has on here right now. And hopefully not invalidate this lap, because I think this might be his last chance to do this. So he might have one more chance on the same set of tires. He will not have time to do another pits, get into the pits for another time and try to get back out. Dean on another out lap right now, trying to improve his lap time that he has there, holding on to provisional pole there. Doesn't want to lose out on the start of the race in P1. So let's see how he gets through. Well, so far so good for our drivers here, I gotta say, as they're on right now. Savdar, Maddie, and Matt Nathan there are currently on their outlaps going through, trying to get a hot lap started. One last chance to do this, and we got a purple sector 1 coming off of Walker here right now, and looking pretty good for this qualifying lap so far. Needs to get another 2 sectors without invalidating the lap, so let's see if he's able to get that through. And that is a purple sector 2 there from Walker. So looking pretty good on this lap so far. He might actually be able to make it into the top 5 here. That is provided he makes a pretty good sector 3 time, which he's getting through here right now. A few more turns to go, so let's see how well this sector is going to be for him. And hopefully he does not invalidate this lap and messes up, because he's going to have only one more chance after this lap to try and get it. Oh, and that's him into the wall. He's lost a bit of front wing, and he's going to get on through the final turn here right now. Let's see how good that lap was. And I might have set him back just a bit. That's a 125.392. Loses about a tenth or 2. I think he might have been good for a provisional pole star there if he hadn't hit that wall, because that was pretty close. So about 400 of a second slower than what Haywood did. Puts him into P3 for the start of this race. At least for now, he's holding on to P3. Let's see how the rest of the session goes on through. That's going to be it for him there, though. Currently, Butler here running as well. DTBF's on an outlap right now. He's going to make it around to try and get another lap in. We got Savdar, Maddie, and Nathan down at the bottom. Have not made lap times in so far. Let's see if they're able to get one before the session comes to an end, because they think they have just about one more chance left to actually do this here. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So our official qualifying clock is officially up. We're into the bit of overtime, so whoever is currently running a lap will be able to finish that said lap, and that's going to be it for qualifying here. There's a few drivers I think are still running their laps, so let's see if they're able to finish that on a good note. So still following on with DTBS right now to have a look at how he's going to finish his lap, and look at that great amount of lights that we have around this track. Going to be interesting to see the race around here as well. Love having races around Singapore. It's always a fun track. Alright, so we got DTBS about to go across the line here. Let's see what sort of lap time if he's going to improve. And does improve, goes up to P3 for the start of this race. Quite an interesting start time. He's going to be getting there. Quite a few more positions up. I think he's going to be looking forward to that as well, and be very happy with that. Let's see if anyone else is trying to finish a lap here right now, and who else is going to improve. And I see Mr. Rage has gotten the fastest lap in the session there. I didn't even notice that for a second. So Mr. Rage, good job on him, getting 134.5, pushing Dean down to second, DTBF down to third with that, Haywood down to fourth, Walker now down to fifth, Eaton into sixth right now, and Butler into seventh. So let's have a look at our final race results before we get on to our formation lap and the start of the Singapore Grand Prix here, guys. So far looking pretty good on the grid with the lap times that we did have there. And Seb, where is Seb right now? I think he's back into the pits there. He went back into the pits there. Let's see how his race start is going to go. It looks like he's going to be starting down there in 13th. Alright, let's have a look at our starting grid there, guys. So Mr. Reg is going to be starting P1 in this race here, guys. Dean starting second on the grid alongside him. DTBF starting in the second row in P3. We got Haywood starting alongside him in P4. Walker's going to start 5th. We got Eaton starting 6th there. Butler starting 7th. Sofdar is going to start 8th. Maddie's going to start 9th. We got Fat Mamba starting 10th. Beefy starting 11th. Mad Nathan starting 12th. We got Seb is starting in 13th. J. Kelly starts 14th. Vintage in 15th. Vans Racing there in 16th. Codfish 17th. Sniper is going to be starting 18th. And Scooby there starting in 19th on the grid. let's see how well these guys are going to get through as we about to get started with the formation lap and get straight into our 50% race for the Singapore Grand Prix, guys. It's going to be an interesting start for this race. Once again, guys, please make sure you guys leave a like on the stream as you join onto the session, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. So let's wait until these guys get started and sorted on the grid for the start of the formation lap. Alright guys, so let's get started right now as these guys are getting started with the formation lap here. It's going to be a 31 lap race around Singapore, so it's going to be quite interesting. 31 laps to look forward to. And let's see, still 19 drivers on our grid, no one left a session. I was hoping someone else would at least join before the end of qualifying, so we got a full grid for this race. But still, 19 drivers is still pretty much interesting of a race to look forward to. So hopefully you guys are going to have quite an enjoyable view from the stream there and have a good look at this race. Sorry guys, I just had to run out for a second and just got back, so I'm kind of out of breath for a second. And yep, thank you, Peter. It is the third commentary race for the day, and going pretty good on it as well. I love doing the Sundays. Sundays is 3 races, one after the other, and it's a lot of fun. I do have like a 30-minute break between the first and the second stream, and then it's a bit hectic getting on to the third one because it's like just after, so just like a minute sometimes to spray, depending on how the race goes. But we did have about 3 VSCs in the second race, so that's what kind of slowed it down just a bit. Fortunately, no safety car, so I didn't slow it down even further than that. But so far, so good here. Okay, so we got everyone starting to get sorted through. Let's get our stats up on screen here, so you guys can have a look at that. We're going to enable that. Telemetry is going to be on by the time we get to lap 3, guys. I'm not going to put that on right now. And we're going to keep position changes on, so you guys can have a look at that at the start of the race and see how this is going to go here. Okay, so back on and we're set, and I think I'm ready to go here right now with the race start. Just setting myself back in. Okay, so hopefully everyone have a good look at what we're about to have happen here. So everyone started to get around the final turn, about to get back sorted on the grid, and I'm going to try to keep the camera angle as much as I can, and just trying to cover everyone as they get through turns 1 and 2 and see how well this is going to go. Thanks, Peter. Really appreciate that. If I didn't need you, I'll let you know. You're in the Discord. I'll let you know if I do need help on a Sunday, because it does get quite hectic sometimes. Just trying to follow on through and keep up with all of these races as we go on through. But I'll let you know, mate. No problem. Thanks for the offer there. Alright, so I think we're about ready to go here. Alright, let's have a look from Dean's car. This is what I usually tend to start doing now. I'm trying to have a look between P1 and P2, how they get started in the race here. And that is 5 lights on. Let's have a look and see how this is going to go. That is lights out, and let's see. I think Dean got a faster start than Mr. Rage getting through for turn 1, so he's gonna have a better run going through. Let's see who gets on. And yep, Dean has a better run getting through. He gets up into P1, gets past Mr. Rage for the lead of the race. And let's have a look at the rest of the grid as they get on through. I don't think any major incidents so far. I didn't really get to have a good look at that, but 19 cars is a lot to keep your eyes on as they're going on through for the start of this race. And pretty packed the track is at the moment. Cars trying to go 2 by 2 through most of these turns. And no one jumped the starts on this one here. So pretty good on that race start as everyone gets through. No VSCs, no safety cars. Not even a yellow flag really. I didn't really see there. But so far, a bit of a contact with the McLaren there, so we lost a bit of front wing. That's Fat Mama's car, and still getting on pretty well. So both McLarens running just behind of each other there. Let's get them back out in front. So Dean took away the lead of the race, had a much better start than Mr. Rage. Took away the lead of the race before the end of second turn, and he's down to second. Haywood running in third place right now in the race. A bit of a trainer cars coming behind him. Eaton there in sixth right now, trying to catch up and get past DT Best for the next position, and looking pretty good at getting that. But he does have a Racing Point fighting him, and has a bit of contact with the front wing and doesn't take any damage there. Lucky for Butler for that. He was pushing in for a move. Unfortunately, he didn't get it done. He's going to have to just keep it there at least for now. Looking pretty good though, but still has a lot of problems here to deal with. But we got Maddie coming behind him in the Ferrari. He's going to have to be very careful about that in terms of that overtake to happen in front. Maddie's looking pretty good at closing up that gap right now and has quite a few cars going behind. So this is going to be a bit chaotic in terms of someone trying an overtake here and that overtake failing, because that's going to cause quite a bit of trade-off incidents coming down just behind with everyone being involved if that does tend to happen. But so far, Matt is looking pretty good at this here. And Savdar coming in 9th. He's trying to get a position there as well. A pretty close gap between all these cars as they get on going. We're going to have DRS online in the next lap. Actually, it's online right now. We're into lap 3 already. I just realized that. And let's see what's happening here. Someone's trying to move, I think. Where am I right now? So Butler in 8th right now running. Maddie was disconnected, I think, for a second there. And he's still running here. And I think our grid is just mixed up. Sorry about that, guys. Our grid is just mixed up. Let's put on the tires right now. That's going to be sorted back through in just a bit. I was wondering what was happening for a second there, but so far so good with that race start there. And we got a Mercedes trying to go around Maddie here right now. That's Matt Nathan there, I think. No, that's Savdar actually, sorry. The grid just keeps it mixed up. Why does it keep it so mixed up? I'm not sure. That's what I said. We're on lap 2. That's why I expected DRS to be on the next lap. So I'm not even sure what's happening, guys. Just ignore that for a second. Leaderboard just mixes up and confuses everything in the session so far. So just ignore that for now. As we continue on through with lap 2 of 31 right now. DRS will be online on the next lap. I'm going to turn telemetry on from now so you guys can have a look at that as we get on through here. So Butler has gotten up into 7th position in this race so far. He's now chasing after Eaton for 6th position. He's about 2.1 seconds behind though. So let's see how that's going to go. The blue flag is for anyone running down in the back, but because the grid got mixed up, that's why they were showing blue flags. That's just a glitch happening on the game there. Just ignore that for now. There's no one running way back to have a blue flag running right now. Just because the game keeps getting mixed up with the leaderboard. Out in front, we got Walker here in P4. He's trying to get ahead of Haywood right now. A pretty close gap, but let's see if he's able to get this done. Down the pit straight they're about to go, and has a better run down the inside and might have a better exit. Gets alongside that AlphaTauri, and he's going to have the inside going down to turn 1. And looks like he gets the position up quite easily here. DRS is now officially online, so that's going to be a bit of an advantage for everyone who's running under a second with a car in front of them, which is a lot of cars right now. Getting down at the back here to Seb there, following on with Jay Kelly. He's trying to get a position up for P12 here. And I think got quite a few positions up in the race so far. So let's have a look, see how that battle is going on through. I'm trying to follow on with Savdar there as well. He's losing about a 10th or 2 here. Savdar is trying to keep up with Maddie there for P8 in this race. So far so good with that race start as we have it on to lap 3 of 31 and going here right now. A pretty interesting view from the overhead angle of Singapore here. Alright, we got Seb about to try and make a move on Jay Kelly, but not enough room to actually do this yet. He's going to have to hold off into P13, at least for now. He needs a good portion of the track to try and get an overtake done. Remember, it's a pretty tight and narrow track around here for the Singapore Grand Prix, much like Azerbaijan and Monaco as it is. So it's very, very difficult to get an overtake done. There are certain portions of the track where it's actually easy to get that overtake done. You can get a good run, especially on a portion like this, but they do need to be very close up to actually get a good run and use their overtake, and a bit of DRS advantage doesn't hurt either to try and get that done. So let's keep following on with Seb, see if he's able to get this overtake. We're going to switch on to someone else in just a second. because they got Beefy getting very close off the soft door there in P9 right now. He's trying to get that position up. Let's see if he's able to do that. Walker out in front is trying to keep his gap under a second between him and Mr. Ray. He has fastest lap as well, so he's doing pretty well out front, looking to try and get that position up because he's trying to break the gap down as much as he can. He's going to have the DRS advantage, and that is a Renault of Jay Kelly into the pits there right now, and a Haas as well into the pits. I think that's Mad Nathan. He is into the pits as well. We already have some pit stops happening out in the midfield there. Let's have a look what's happening here. DTBs and Haywood switching positions here as they get around. We're out on track out there right now. They're still going side by side and true. DTBs trying to get it wrong on the inside and might actually get that move done. Gets that position back into P4. Haywood down to P5. He's going to have to hold it back there for now. And we got Eaton coming just behind as well. So 3 cars fighting it off true for P4 here at the moment. Let's see how well that's working through, because Eaton just having a look from behind. He's going to try and get past the AlphaTauri of Haywood here right now, going side by side through that section and takes it on the inside. Gets the position up. Pretty cleanly done. No contact with the cars and going well so far in this race. But that's eaten up into 5th position. Haywood down to 6. So he's lost about 2 positions in this race so far. Not too bad though, but still running in 6th position now. He was up to 4th, fighting it off with DT Bears there until he lost that position down. Out in front, I'm trying to follow on with Walker there as well, as he's catching up to Mr. Rage here right now. So Red Bull and Alfa Romeo are gonna fighting it off. Dean out front is within has a gap of less than a second now to Mr. Rage, so he's lost a bit of time as well. So a bit of a battle going on for the lead of the race here right now with our top 3 cars as it is, because these gaps are starting to get smaller and smaller between them. So let's see how well that's going to be working out. Hey look, Nightbot to the stream schedule there, guys. So there's the stream schedule for the week. I think that's the updated stream schedule that I set it up last night. So hopefully that's correct, that it is there right now. As long as it's a Wednesday 7:30 on it, it should be fine. And all the times are in BST, British time. I did not put them in Eastern time because I know what my time zone is, where the time difference is. So still following on with Dean, Mr. Rage, and Walker here right now, fighting for the lead of the race. Let's go down to Savdar, though. He's fighting it off with Maddie here, trying to get ahead right now to go up into P6, using DRS and overtake as much as he can. He's going to take it on the inside and get around to the next turn. He gets that position up quite easily. No contact between them again, and that's quite impressive to see happen here at Singapore, with these guys getting these overtakes done so cleanly. But still gets a penalty though. He think he exceeded track limits a little bit too much there and got a penalty for that, but still getting overtake done, not too bad. Got up that position into 6th place. And he's going to chase after Eaton there now in 5th for the next position. Let's see how well that goes off for him. Down in the back, we got Sniper here chasing after Vintage for P12 and has a Codfish with the, I think, with the Ferrari just in front of them. So we'll see how that battle goes on through. Going back out in front with Mr. Rage, Dean, and Walker. The 3 of them fighting it off for the lead of the race. Walker getting pretty close after Mr. Rage, trying to get ahead here. So this is going to be interesting to see how this goes. This might end pretty well or very, very bad for 1 or 2 or maybe all 3 of them, depending on how the battle is going to go with them, because neither of the 3 of them are going to give up on this here right now. It's a fight for the lead for the Singapore Grand Prix, one of the most prestigious races that we have. So it's always a privilege to win a race like this and finish a race on in P1 around here, because a very difficult track as well to drive. And we have some DRS advantage coming up for Mr. Rage and Walker, not for Dean of course, because he is the one running out in front, has clean air to work with. That's going to be his advantage, along with any overtake he has to use. So they're still running just about half a second between each other, all 3 of them, and keeping that a bit constant as they are. But we got 2 of them going a bit side by side. That is Mr. Rage and Dean going side by side. Mr. Rage seems to take away the lead of the race. Walker takes away that position as well. Goes up behind Mr. Rage now, up into 2nd place in the race. Dean is down to 3rd. He's lost the lead, and he's gonna. I'm not sure if he's having some sort of problem with the car, if he has any damage or not. But he just lost the lead, and he's down to P3. So Mr. Rage takes away it back. He's up into the lead right now. Walker running in 2nd. A pretty good position for him here. Mad Nathan getting fastest lap down at the back there. And let's see how this battle continues on through, because this is not over as yet. These 3 are still chasing each other around, fighting off for positions, but we can see Dean falling back just a little bit by a few tenths right now. I'm not sure if he's having some problems with that car or not, but Walker is trying to chase after Mr. Rage, still trying to get that position up. Going to be a difficult task though, not going to be making it easy on him. So let's see how that's going to work out. Dean definitely falling back just a bit. I'm really not sure if he has any damage on that car, but DTBF is now under a second behind him, so he's catching up and is going to try to get onto the podium here. But let's see how that's going to work. A pretty interesting race so far, gotta say. Has been quite an interesting start. And getting getting pretty competitive up to this one. Walker looking to get by here right now from Mr. Rage, and is really trying to get that position up. Really needs a good gap to get it done though. DT Bears and Dean fighting for P3. Mr. Rage and Walker fighting for the lead of the race now. I think we have a few more close gaps down at the back, and we got Mr. Rage into the pits. That's Walker up into the lead of the race now. So quite an easy move for him to get the lead away, and that's Mr. Rage taking his pit stop. But they're on different strategies, and we have a safety car here. That's going to save Mr. Rage a bit of time in the pits there, I think, because Walker now takes away the lead. Sofdar goes up into second in this race, and we got quite a few pit stops happening just because of that safety car that happened there. I'm not sure what's caused the safety cars yet, but probably some sort of incident on track. I'm not sure if we had an incident between two cars that resulted in a lot of debris falling off of the track. That might be what caused the incident, but we're going to have to see what happened there exactly. I'm not sure as yet, because no driver is out of this race so far. We do have a few drivers spaced out down at the back, and we're following on right now. Let's see, Walker continuing on to lead the race. He's going to get back around and then follow on with the safety car. I know quite a few drivers did a pit stop under this one here. So quite interestingly enough, until lap 7 here, we're having our first safety car. We're happening in lap 6 actually. So on ending of lap 6, that's where the safety car happened. First actual incident for this session here. So let's see what's going to happen with the change up happening on the grid right now. Still a few drivers into the pits there at the moment. And I think it was an incident somewhere down at the back of the grid that caused that safety car. We might have had a driver into a wall, or a few drivers having some bit of issue, I'm not sure. But as it is right now, we got Walker taking over the lead of the race into lap 7. We got Sofdar now up into second place in this race. We got Seb running third in the race right now. Mr. Rage now down to fourth. DT Bevs running in fifth. We got Vintage running 6th. Dean running 7th. Ethan running 8th. Beefy into 9th. Haywood into 10th. Vans Racing in 11th. Maddie 12th. Butler 13. J. Kelly 14. Scooby now in 15. Sniper down to 16. Codfish in 17. Fat Mamba in 18. And Mad Nathan down to 19 there on the grid. That's how our grid lines up so far, as we're still following on under the safety car. We got Walker into the pits right now. He's taking his pit stop under the safety car still as we go on through. He's going to go onto the soft tires here right now. So looking like a two-stop strategy, and it looks like he's changing his front wing. Might have had some damage on that front wing that we didn't know about there. And he's going to get back out on track now. Safdar getting into the pits there as well. That's going to put Seb into the lead of the race here right now. But his tire is about 7 laps old on those mediums. We got guys who are going to be running on very fresh soft tires running behind of him. That's Mr. Rage going into second place in the race. Walker taking his place back behind Mr. Rage into third right now after his pit stop. And DTBF splitting up them. They're trying to get in between right now. Who's getting that position? I'm not sure. So Walker seems to have gotten the P3 position, and DTBF's down to P4. I think they were trying to fight it even under the safety car there. So quite an interesting change up here right now, but at least Walker getting back his position just behind Mr. Rage. So that's going to be a battle going on for the lead of the race. Once Seb does another pit stop here, that's what's going to happen. So DTB is taking 4th, Dean takes his 5th, and Safdar down to 6th right now after he's taking his pit stop. I think it's just Seb and Vans Racing, the only 2 cars on track that have not done a pit stop so far in this session here as it is. But so far so good with the session, guys. And once again, guys, thank you guys to all of you joining onto the session. Remember, guys, please do leave a like on the stream. I appreciate when you guys leave a like on the stream. It does help us out a lot. And remember, if you're new on the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and feel free to share the link out as much as you guys want to, just to get as much people watching the races as we can. Yep, I think that was a good decision on Seb there for making that decision not to do a pit stop as yet, because it's only 7 laps on those mediums so far. He's going to be able to push on through for quite a while before doing a pit stop on that. So we'll see how the strategy goes for him. Of course, Mr. Rage and Walker on fresh soft, they might be a bit difficult for him to deal with. They might really try to get by, and might on a track like this, they might actually be able to pull it off. So he's going to have some trouble defending though, but let's see how that's going to work. But those tires are still fresh. He should be able to hold them off if he does have the pace to do it, and it does seem like he does, because he's running pretty high up in this race so far. So let's see how that's going to go once this restart happens here after the safety car goes in, which should be maybe on the next lap coming up. It should be at the end of lap 9 hopefully. We ended off on lap 5. So let's say lap 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, we should be going in on the end of lap 8 actually. Sorry, not 9 I mean, not 8. We're supposed to go into 9 now. So hopefully at the end of, yeah, I think at the end of this lap is when we should be having that safety car go in. And we're going to get back to racing. So, bit of an interesting change up with the strategies that have been going on track so far as we're following on through with Seb leading the grid around under the safety car here right now. I think Mr. Rage and Walker will have to do another pit stop in the race. I don't think they'll be able to push all the way to the end of that. They will have to do another pit stop. So we'll see how the strategy goes. But it's looking pretty good with the different range of strategies that we have on the track here right now. If you guys can have a look. But Peter rooting for another safety car on this one, because that safety car is going to help a lot if it does happen again. But who knows, we might have another safety car, but the problem is when will a safety car happen is the important factor here to take into account, because you need that safety car to happen at the exact point you need to do a pit stop as a driver on track. So we'll see how it works out though, because these safety cars do actually save drivers a lot of time doing a pit stop. So we'll see how it works out, because I think at the end of this lap we're about to get back racing. We're entering into sector 3 here right now. There we go. Race control confirms it. We're about to go back racing at the end of this lap. So into lap 10 we're going to go racing. That's going to leave us with about 21 laps more to go in the race. So quite a way more to go. We'll see how well that works out though. But it's looking pretty good so far. Quite a mix of strategies, I gotta say. Salvador up to 6th right now. Ethan up to 7th. Running pretty close up behind each other. We'll see how the strategies works out. Alright guys, we're about to go back racing here right now as everyone gets across the line and then they can overtake. So let's have a look if Mr. Rage is already having a go against Seb. Gets the position done already. Walker might be looking to get that position up as well. Gets by already up into P3. Seb is down to, he's down to P4 actually, sorry. As DTBF gets by as well. These guys on fresher tires are going to have a little bit more bit of an advantage. So he's going to have to try and defend as much as he can to stop losing so many positions. But he's still going to be up there running at least in the top 5 for now. And I think with Salvador on the hard tires might have a much more difficult time trying to get by Seb there. But let's see how that goes, because they're trying to fight off just behind. We can see cars going side by side already. Ethan and Salvador trying to fight it through for P5 right now as they go on through. Beefy getting behind them as well with that. Haywood trying to catch up as well. And quite a few more positions changing down in the back, as we can see Dean all the way down to 14, 15th now for some reason. So something's happening in the back of the grid. I'm not sure what's happening down in the back of the table. We'll have to have a look in just a bit. Beefy trying to get a wrong Ethan here right now for P6. Let's see if he's able to get that done. He does have Haywood just behind the rear of his car coming through. So a bit of contact with that, with someone there. I think that was with Seb into the wall. Oh, and we got Ethan and Beefy, no, Salvador and Beefy, sorry, getting through side by side, trying to fight it off. So it's currently Seb in 4th, Beefy up to 5th, Ethan in 6th, Salvador down to 7th right now. So a bit of contact with few cars as we get through on the restart after the safety car here. A little bit chaotic as we're going through, but a few damaged cars are still going to continue on through with the race. We're following on with Haywood right now, trying to get around Salvador and Ethan in front. Then we got Beefy and who is that in front? Beefy and Seb trying to get on through. I'm trying to follow, see what's happening here. So Seb is down to 5th so far in this race as where he started back. Beefy is going to get ahead. Looks like Ethan might be getting a good go on him as we get on through to the pit straight here as well. We got Salvador and Haywood coming just behind. Ethan is going to take it on the inside and get on through that position up into P5. He's about to go, but will he actually get it done? Because the McLaren is still fighting it back, but he does get it done actually up into P5. Step down to 6 and 10 laps on those tires now. Starting to get a little bit problems because I think he has some damage on that car as well, that when he actually hit into the wall. So he still has a close gap to Ethan. Let's see if he's actually able to keep that gap as we continue on through. So Walker still continues in the lead of the race. Mr. Rage running in second. DTBS up to third. Beefy running fourth. Ethan running fifth. Seb running fifth after that restart. We got Haywood in seventh. And we got Butler trying to get by Haywood here right now for seventh place in the race. He's running without any damage on that car. So might have a good go at him. But of course, J. Kelly coming in behind another 2 seconds. He's on fresh soft tires. So might actually be able to catch up pretty quickly. And we got Dean into the pits there right now. So Fat Mamba out of this race. Dean into the pits, going onto the soft tires to go further into the race right now. Let's see how the strategy is going to work. He's about 25 seconds behind. Had a bit of an issue on that restart there, I think, because he fell down quite a few positions. Currently following on with Butler here still has a pretty close gap to Haywood, who has a close gap to Seb in front of him. So let's see how these three are getting on through. This is a fight for 6th position between the three of them, you got to say here right now. Haywood having a pretty good run, trying to take it around the outside, but does he get it done? I don't think he got that position up as yet. Still finding it through to try and get ahead. Gets a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. And we got the Racing Motor Butler coming on pretty strong behind as well. Takes a bit of contact with the wall. Why am I seeing something like drizzle coming on track? Is this starting to rain? Now this is going to be quite an interesting change. It's starting to rain on track. I really didn't know that that was the conditions for the race. So this is going to make it a lot more interesting here right now to see what's going to happen in terms of these drivers. So that's Haywood up into 6th, Butler in 7th, J. Kelly in 8th running right now, Safdar running now in 9th. And we got Seb all the way down to 13. He's taking a chance. He's going very early. Where is he right now? Going onto the intermediate tires, changing off his front wing, I think, as well. He's taking the chance of going onto the intermediates very early off as soon as it starts to drizzle on the first lap. So let's see if that's going to be a good call or not, because I'm not sure if this track is ready for the intermediate tires as well. I'm just trying to keep an eye on him to see how he gets back out here. We got 2 drivers going onto the intermediate tires. Van Racing is already going onto the intermediate tires as well. The rain does seem to be coming down pretty quickly. But I would assume you need a lap or 2 more before the track is actually ready for this intermediate. So I'm not sure. Is this a good call? I'm not sure. What are your thoughts here, Peter? Is this a good call for these guys going on to the intermediates as soon as the drizzle starts to come down? Or should they... Oh, and there we have a virtual safety car. Mad Nathan is out of the race. And that's his car stuck on track there into the wall. Now is the point to actually do a stop here. Very easily to get onto the intermediate tires if you do need to, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's ready yet. I would agree, Peter. I don't think it's ready for the intermediate tires as well. It just started to drizzle, so I think you need at least 3 to 4 laps before we actually go on to the intermediate tires here. I really don't think it's ready for that as yet, and they're going to be saved just a little bit right now because we're running under the VSC for just a little bit, but that track is not going to get wet enough that quickly for the intermediate tires. We're going to have cars who are running on the dry tires have a much better chance of getting overtakes done here. As currently we're following out front with DT Bevs chasing after Mr. Rage. The VSC is over and we're back racing again. And that was a very bad call for those 2 drivers who went onto the intermediate tires. That's going to hurt their race quite a bit. They're already down to 15 and 17 down in the back of the grid. And I don't think the track is anywhere near ready for those tires as yet. As you can see, the cars and the dry tires are getting off pretty well. We got a few more drivers getting in here right now. Let's see if they're going to be going on to intermediate tires as well. And that seems to be the case for some drivers, while it is not for others here. So a bit of a mix-up on strategies. It's actually quite important, guys, if you're able to gauge the amount of grip you have on track to know if your track is actually ready for intermediate tires or not. But I don't think it is because, yes, and Peter, you're right. We have absolutely no standing water on track here right now, which is what those intermediate tires need. That's why they have the grip on them with the grip levels so that they can displace the water that's on track and give your car enough traction to keep going as fast as you would. But there is absolutely no standing water on the track right now, so no water for those tires to displace. Those tires are going to overheat on them and burn off pretty quickly, and they're going to have absolutely no grip. It's definitely going to be disastrous to the race here right now. So we can have a look on board with J. Kelly, who just got out on track. We're having a look on board with him right now. Look how careful he has to be to get around. Now DRS has just been disabled by race control. That just tells us something. It's getting to that point where we need the intermediate tires now, maybe in a lap or 2 more, but it still needs to be a little more wet on track. There's absolutely no water settling on this track as yet. We still need a lap or two more, I would assume, before we get onto those tires. We can have a look at the cars on the dry tires. When they start to slide around, then it's going to be time for that. But usually, and I think it's about time right now to get onto intermediates, because what's happening, it's usually an indication in the game. I'm not sure if everyone has actually noticed it, but when race control turns off DRS, that's the time to get onto the intermediate tires, because they deem it unsafe for the dry tires on track in terms of trying to get overtakes with that advantage. So they turn off DRS when it's getting to the very point where you need the intermediate tires. And now is the time to get onto the intermediate tires, as we have the rest of the grid starting to go on now. And yep, Peter, you're right. Now is the time to get onto those intermediates. We're going to start to have some water start to settle on track in just a bit. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit wet right now. So that's going to help some drivers out who are onto the tires right now as they're getting on. But a few drivers losing off a bit. And we have a virtual safety car. Dean is out. Who else is out of the race? Is someone else out of the race right now? So 3 drivers out of this race so far. Not sure what the VSC is about. I thought someone's car was stuck on track there for a second. Anyway, we have a virtual safety car for some reason here right now. Everyone's doing a pit stop. Yeah, guys, so I've actually noticed something from playing these F1 games over the years that I've played, for all the way from F1 2010 coming to F1 2020. It's a good indication when the race control turns off DRS. That's your like exact point to get into the pits and get onto intermediate tires. Your first lap on those inters are going to be a bit rough, but I think after that you're going to actually have a pretty decent lap after that with pretty good amount of grip. But I think that's the most important point. You got to do it after DRS is offline, not while DRS is online. It's kind of a bit of an indication in the game, I assume. But at this point right now, as we can see, Walker is getting pretty decent grip on those tires. Still has to be a bit careful though, getting around turns, because we still need a little bit more water on this track before these tires are fully up to temperature and ready to go full on racing here. But we're back racing again anyway. The virtual safety car is over. Water is going to start to settle up on the track. As you can see, a little bit of a spray coming off of those tires there right now, which means there is some water on track. It's helping the cars get through, and that's going to be a bit of an important factor to consider through once here right now. So everyone currently onto the inter tires. We're at that point where we need them, so everyone make the correct decision at this point to go on. And let's see how the rest of the race is going to continue on through. So Walker, we're on lap 14, going into lap 15 right now. Walker just went into. He is still in the lead of the race here. Mr. Rage running in second right now, and then we got DTBS running in third. We got BP running in fourth. We got Ethan running fifth. Sovdar running in sixth. He's about 15 seconds though behind Ethan, so he has some time to catch up there. And then we got Maddie seventh. We got Scooby running in eighth in this race right now. Seb running ninth. He did take an early pit stop onto this intermediate tires. Took a gamble on this. I think it cost him a bit, but he's up into ninth, so he's standing in a good position in the race right now, into the top 10 at least. Jay Kelly there in 10th. Haywood in 11th. Sniper in 12th. Vans Racing running 13th right now. He was the next driver to go onto the intermediate tires early off in the race. And then we got Butler running 14, Codfish in 15, and Vintage in 16. Unfortunate though, we got Dean, Mad Nate, and a Fat Member out of this race. Thank you very much, Peter. I appreciate the donation of £5 from you. And I try as much to know as I usually just use the knowledge that I usually have on F1 to try and just know this. But I've played a lot of different F1 games. So once again, man, thank you very, very much for that donation on the stream there. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support that you guys all put through on this as well. It does help me keep this whole thing going, and help me keep the streams going. So many streams a week. It's a lot to do, but it really is worth it once we see you guys supporting the stream as much as you do. So really, thank you very much for doing that. And Peter, they're also a channel member on IG8Live Esports here, so really appreciate his support so far. But I've played F1 games all the way from F1 2010 coming all the way to F1 2020. I've done most of them on PC. I did F1 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015. I've done those on PC. And then I've done 2017 on Xbox first, then I did it on PS4. Then 2018, I've never played it full on through, but I played a bit of it on PS4. And 2016, I think I did that on Xbox and PS4, both sides. And then we had 2019, I did on the PS4 only. And I have F1 2020 both on the Xbox and the PS4 because I do league streams of both PS4 and Xbox leagues. Right now I don't have any Xbox leagues, but I'm trying to get back one. Maybe in the coming few weeks I'll see, but I need a schedule for that as well because we currently have at least about 8 or 9 streams for this week so far as the schedule. I'm not even sure what it is right now. I have to check out my schedule later on tonight. Anyway guys, we are back racing still. We're trying to follow what's happening down the back there. I think someone's going just a bit excessively slow. That's Van Racing. Might have been having some trouble. As we can see, the rain started to come down a little bit more, guys. Track is definitely starting to get a lot more wet here. And those intermediate tires are going to start to settle in on the track right now. As you can see, these guys getting up to racing speed, and they're going to get back going with this again. We got Butler getting a very close gap. He's trying to go side by side, I think. And I think Sniper lost a bit of front wing. He might have lost both end plates on that car. I'm not sure. I'm seeing debris falling off of his car. He just lost one end plate, but he had a bit of contact with the wall. Lost an end plate and lost a position to Butler here. So he's down into 12th position right now. Yep, he's down to 12. So he's going to try and get that position back if he can, but he's falling back quite a bit. I think this rain is going to change things up quite a bit in this race. Remember that not a lot of drivers are good in the rain, me included. I'll be honest with that. I'm not that good in the rain, guys. Honestly, I'm not that good on a wet track. I much more prefer a dry track. I think it's just because of the setups though. But so far so good for these guys in the rain so far. They're doing pretty well of keeping the race going pretty cleanly, as we can see. Maybe a bit of minor contact here and there in the wall, just losing the car maybe just a little bit as the tires are now getting settled in and up to temperature. Guess we do have a little bit of water starting to come on track a bit. As we get a little more rain coming down, it's going to be a little bit better for them as well. But there is going to be a bit sliding around on track for a few drivers. We'll start to see that happen. But let's see how we get through the rest of the race. We're on lap 17 of 31 right now. And yeah, Peter, would really appreciate your help one of these weekends on a race. I'll have to have you join me on. But I'm gonna have you join me for a test stream maybe during the course of the week. So if I need you on one of these streams, I'll have you join me on. It'll be a lot of fun to have you on the stream with me trying to get some help with commentary as well. It does kind of ease it off if I do have someone helping me from time to time. But I'll get you. Oh, was that contact with the wall with the Red Bull? I think BP had a bit of contact. I was trying to look at the chat for a second to see what's going on with Nightbot there. I think he had a bit of contact with the rear wheel and the barriers there at the side, but he seems to be okay. Doesn't take any damage on that car. Fortunately for him, though. That was very fortunate for him that he didn't take any damage on that. So as we have it, both Red Bulls running pretty well onto the podium positions they are right now. Let's see how they finish the race, though. As currently we have it, we have everyone's going to be on wet tires. The intermediate tires running right now. So tires, what's happening there? Oh, I think that's a car down in the back. Anyway, we got Walker into the lead of the race. We got DTVF running second right now in this race. He is about 11 seconds behind Walker, so Walker has quite a bit of gap out front, I gotta be honest with you, and he has a good lead out right now. And let's see if he's gonna keep that going. Beefy there in P3 is running a pretty good position. He's about 2 seconds behind DTVF, trying to catch up as much as he can. Eaton here running in P4, about 4.5 seconds behind, and not doing too bad as well himself. We got Mr. Rage with a 13-second gap though to Eaton. He's trying to catch up as much as he can, if he can here. Let's see how that works out for him. As we know, some drivers are going to be a little bit slower with their lap times in here as well. Oh, because I had energy drinks earlier. I wasn't drinking a Red Bull, actually. It was a Monster energy drink. I didn't have the Red Bull when I went to buy it, so I just took that. But let's see what it goes. Probably need an energy drink, so companies sponsoring this channel or something, because I do tend to have energy drinks with me most of the time when I'm doing the streams. Keeps me going a lot. So we're going to have some sort of energy drink supporting this channel in some way. I got to reach out to somebody to get something sorted with that in terms of that there. Hopefully we can get something set up maybe later on to have an energy drink company on with us. Maybe giving us, you know, for some free stuff. Will work out pretty well, hopefully. Okay, so let's continue on with the race so far, and let's see what's happening. So Sofdal running P6 right now, pretty well up, no damage on the car, running pretty good. And honestly, I gotta be honest with you, I love how these cars glitter under the lights here at Singapore. It's pretty interesting. I love the graphics on it, always pretty interesting. And I'm actually just noticing, guys, the rain is going away. So what's happening right now? If the rain is starting to go away, that means these guys are going to have to get off the intermediate tires and get back onto the dry tires to go to the end of the race. But it has enough grip on track right now to run with the intermediates as it is. Oh boy, and they are in trouble. DRS is back online. They have to switch back to the dry tires right now. So they have about a lap to the next 2 laps to switch back to the dry tires before these tires start to give up on them, or that's going to be it. The track is starting to dry back again. The racing line is going to be drying faster than anything right now, because cars are running constantly on it, and we're going to start to see some pit stops happen very, very soon here, with everyone getting into the pits and getting off the intermediate tires back onto the dry tires. So that was just a bit of a sprinkle we had, not exactly rain, just a little bit of sprinkle happening on track and caused everyone to go onto the intermediates. And now it's going to be a switch back to the dry tires. As long as DRS is back online, we're going to have to switch back in the next 2 laps time at least. It doesn't have to be exactly on this lap, but they have about 2 laps to do this. I would average about 2 laps to get back onto the dry tires before they start to lose full grip on these intermediates. These tires definitely will start to overheat again if they continue driving on them. And we do have them getting back in right now. It's lap 19 of 31, guys. So that leaves us about 12 and a half laps left in this race to go with. So they have to decide, are they going to push you through on soft tires? Are they going to push you through on medium tires? Or are they only going to go to hards? Depending on what they have available. You got DTS going, he's going to the mediums as well. Walker getting back out of on track here right now, and I think the entire grid is about to get into the pits here. That's going to be a very, very busy pit lane as we're trying to have a look of it right now. Yep, we got a lot of cars in the pits right now, getting in and out. We might have drivers losing position because they're so busy in the pit lane here right now. Let's see how that's going to work out. Walker still takes back the lead of the race as he gets back out. 15 seconds is a gap between DT Bevs and Walker here. Yeah, they're going to get onto the mediums. They don't want to take a chance with the softs to go to the end of the race here right now, because those softs will give up on them before they get to the at least by lap 28. I assume those softs are going to give up. They're not going to be able to make it past that with enough grip to fight for positions in the race. So they're going to probably just push you through with the mediums to go to the end of the race here right now. Yep, the entire grid going on to medium tires here right now. Did a few cars not pit? Let's have a look. Is Jay Kelly and the rest, a few of them not pitting? Yeah, they're actually pitting. They're pitting. My bad on that. I thought they were not going to go into the pits. We still got Butler coming wrong to get into the pits there right now. So everyone getting back onto dry tires. We're going to have a race happening. Once again, everyone's going to be fighting back for positions. When it's a wet race, guys, drivers tend not to fight so much because they're just trying to keep their car in the race, trying to keep it to get to the end of the race as much as they can. Just to actually score some points, because not everyone is great at driving in a wet track. And as I said, myself included. We'll see how it goes, if we're going to have another safety car happen in this race or not. I'm not sure. If we have a few close battles happening, we might end up having another safety car. That down in the back there, we have a close gap between Codfish and Vans Racing. So let's have a look at these two as they're getting on through. I think that gap is starting to go away just a little bit right now. And that's Mr. Rage in P5. That's a front runner getting in it away there right now. Let's have a look out front, see what's happening with Sofdar and Mr. Rage right now. So a bit of a gap between the two of them still as they get on through. Seb here in P9 has a gap just under a second. And remember, we have DRS advantage back online right now to use. So Scooby's going to come under some pressure right now with Seb trying to keep up with him here right now. And Codfish is ghosting. Why is he ghosting right now? Yep, he is ghosted. I'm not sure if he's disconnected or if he's just put his game on pause, so it's gone ghosted. I'm not sure what's happening with him there right now. We'll probably find out more about that later on. But Seb here running pretty well. Let's see how he's getting on through. He's chasing after Scooby here for P8. So in the top 10 running so far pretty well. Not too bad at all. Walker gets a 3-second penalty out front, and he is our race leader right now. Not even under any pressure up front, as far as I know. I'm not sure if he's getting any traffic, but makes a bit of a mistake and gets a 3-second penalty out front, but does have a 16.2 second gap to DTBF's there in second. So he has more than enough time to work with in terms of that penalty. And that's really not going to affect his race at this point as it is right now. We still have about 11 and a half laps left to go in this race before we get to lap 31, guys. So a bit of way more to go. I think we got a bit slowed down during the wet portion of the race, but we're still going on here right now, getting back going. And gap is starting to go away from Seb here right now, up just over a second. Yep, let's have a look at penalties as they are here right now. So 3 seconds of penalties for Walker, 3 seconds for Beefy. We got a 3-second Mr. Rage and Sofdar. 9 seconds of penalty for Scooby. That's going to make it easy on Seb's life here, because Seb is going to be moving up a position because of that penalty there. We got 8 seconds for Jay Kelly, 6 seconds for Haywood, 8 seconds for Butler, and 5 seconds for Vintage down in the back there. Not too bad with the penalties so far, but it is going to help a few drivers get up a few positions. Beefy there, 5.6 seconds behind DT Bears, has a 3-second penalty. And That's actually looking pretty good for Ethan, who is just behind him, because Ethan's gap is about 2.8 seconds. So he needs to keep that gap under 3 seconds if he wants that final podium position at the end of this race. That's what Ethan needs to do right now. So let's see how well he's going to keep it. And he seems to be working pretty well at that. Already gained 2/10. He's down to 2.6 seconds right now. So let's keep it on penalties for just a bit and continue on through the race, see what's happening here. Getting out in front, Ethan is actually catching up pretty well to Beefy there. Let's see if he's going to catch up even more and get that position up. Yep, there is going to be a lot of pressure on Seb here right now. 1.3 seconds is that gap. So he's closing the gap right now to Scooby, trying to get it back down under a second as much as he can. Of course, I think if he knows about that penalty, he's going to feel pretty happy about it, because that's a 12-second penalty right now for Scooby out front. And the next car has a 3-second penalty, but he's going to have a little bit of a gap to get to the other one. That's a 31-second gap between Scooby and Maddie as it is. So at least he knows if he does check in with Jeff, he will know that he can get up a position there, up into P8. But let's see how that's going to go. So a bit of a gap between most of our drivers, but not so much between in the midfield here as we have it. Seb got that gap under a second right now. He's chasing after Scooby, catching up at a decent pace right now. Walker getting the fastest lap out front again. So he's using his DRS advantage that he has now, trying to keep as close as he can with Scooby here. I think this is a bit of a waiting game for him. He's going to try to push as much as he can and just try to close the gap as much as he can here until he's able to get that overtake done. Even if he's not able to get it done, he's going to be able to get that position by default because of the penalties that Scooby has there. So let's see how well that's going to work out for him. I'm going to go back penalty and go back to tires as we have it here. Only driver on the hard tires is Vans Racing right now. Everyone else running on the medium tires as it is. But on lap 22 of 31 going by the time we get to lap 28, 29, we're going to switch back the penalties on and see what's changed so far. But so far going pretty well here. Seb is still about a second behind, so he needs to just close up that gap a little bit more to try and keep the DRS advantage alive if he can. We're following on with Ethan right now. His gap's still about down to 1.6 seconds as it is. He has Beefy in view sight of him right now, so he's definitely trying to catch up to that Red Bull, and he will probably know about the penalties that Beefy has, so that's going to help him try to get. Let's keep on penalties actually. We know what tires these cars are running on. This one driver on the hards, everyone else running on the mediums as it is. And Seb has gotten the position up actually. He's gotten past Scooby here. He's gotten up into 8th position right now. He's going to chase after Maddie for P7 if he can, but quite a big gap to work with. But as long as he keeps this penalty free, I think he has a pretty good chance of finishing P8 here. And never know what's going to happen. He might actually be able to finish P7. Depends on what happens out front, but he has a big gap to work with. Let's see how that's going to work out for him. Out in front, we got Ethan catching up to Beefy here right now. 1.2 seconds is that gap. And a 3-second penalty that Beefy has. He's looking pretty bad at losing that position here right now, because he's going to be under pressure in just about right now, I gotta say, because he's already gotten Ethan in his DRS range, so that's going to be quite hard to work with. Yeah, 23 seconds is actually quite a bit for Seb to work with here. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up that amount of seconds in that amount of laps that's left in this race, but still he's looking pretty good at getting his P8, and he's gotten the position up, so he's going to go across the line P8 at least if he keeps that going. He's already got a gap building against Scooby there, so he's doing pretty well so far, trying to catch up to Maddie there. Out front, Walker has a 20-second gap to DTBF, so he's not at all worried about that 3-second penalty that he has. But following on with Ethan right now, gap is down to under half a second between these two. Beefy under a lot of pressure right now of keeping that final podium position. Doesn't seem to have damage on that car. I'm just trying to have a look at his front wing right now. Actually does have damage. He's missing the right end plate on the front wing, which explains why he's losing so much time to Ethan here right now. So Ethan looking pretty good at getting up into the podium position for a race finish here right now. And that's going to put Beefy down to P4. Unfortunately, it's not going to have both Red Bulls onto the podium this evening. I follow on board right now with Ethan as he goes on through. Has about 40% sorry, about ERS to use to overtake. And does have his DRS advantage to work with. Beefy having an end plate missing on that car. Keeps touching that wall there for some reason. I assume that's because of the end plate missing. And Ethan taking some very interesting lines, trying to get it wrong here. Hopefully he doesn't take a penalty though, because he doesn't have any penalty right now. We can see Walker. I don't know if that's Walker and DTBF's out front. And he gets ahead. Is that BP into the pits there right now? He's getting into the pits right now. He's going to change off his front wing and probably go onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race. He's definitely fighting off to get the fastest lap here right now. He is going onto the soft tires. And he's going to go on the end of the race on that. Of course, that wing change is going to set him back just a bit. But let's see where he comes back out. Mr. Rage gets past him. Soft Door gets past. I think he's going to come out just in front of Maddie here. Actually, Maddie gets by as well. Seb is coming around. I don't think Seb is going to make it. No, Seb is not going to make it to get past, but he's going to be behind Beefy right now. So Maddie gets us a position there as well. Let's see how many positions Beefy is able to fight for when he gets back out on those soft tires there, because let's see how close by he's going to be. Has 11-second gap towards Maddie out in front of him, so that's going to be a bit to work with here right now, but still going pretty well in this race so far. Has been quite interesting since the start, getting up to this point. Now we got a virtual safety car right now. Something's happened on track, I think. Trying to have a look right now to see what's that has happened. Someone's off track. I can see someone is off track. Let's switch on to a Mercedes and we can have a look here right now. And there is someone's car. That is Sniper there, I think, into the wall down at the back in the barriers there. He is out of this race. I'm not sure if he had contact with someone or not, but that's another driver out of the race. 15 drivers still remain though to go to the end. That's going to be a virtual safety car. They should be easily be able to get that car out of the way. Unfortunate for Sniper there though. So he's going to be out. We're going to wait for the virtual safety car to be over for these guys to get back racing. We got guys scrambling in the pit lanes here right now to get a change of tires. We got Walker getting in as well. He's getting back out right now on soft tires. And let's have a look at tires as it is right now. So Walker is getting back out on soft tires. Beefy already back out on his soft tires. So both Red Bulls doing that strategy, trying to get fastest lap. Let's see who's going to get it. DTBF takes over the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix right now with 20. We're on lap 25 or 21 and going through. And it's a pretty close gap between him and Walker here. Let's see if he's going to be able to take back the lead though. Has DRS advantage, has his overtake on, and definitely pushing to get ahead and take back the lead right now. Takes it on the outside and goes around on this turn. Let's see if he gets it around. They're still fighting it through. Bit of contact between the two of them, and I think that was just a bit of wheel contact, but no damage taken so far as we can see. DTBF's down back to second place in the race, but still a great chance for him to take with the lead. Unfortunately, a great fight between the two of them though, but between Walker and DTBF trying to get back that lead there. Almost went horribly wrong, but yes, a bit of wheel contact, so nothing gone wrong so far. DTBF's losing a bit of time right now because Walker is on fresh soft tires. He's going to fly on through out in front and try to keep the lead as much as he can. 1.4 seconds is the gap as they have it there right now. So 8.5 seconds to Eaton down at the back. He's running P5 and has a penalty now. So let's have a look back at penalties as it is. Who else did a pit stop there? Alright, so let's have a look at penalties. So Walker has a 3-second penalty to work with. DTBF needs to keep that gap under 3 seconds if he wants a race win here right now. Has a good chance of getting this, but Walker is on the fresh soft tires. That's what's going to kill it out. Oh, and he gets another penalty. That's going to start to ruin his race here right now. DTBF has a pretty good chance of getting P1 in this race if he can actually get that gap under 3 seconds and keep it there. Doesn't want to risk it here right now. But he does have to avoid getting any penalties as it is here right now. Quite an impressive move with DTS. He's trying to keep the gap under 3 seconds, but it's not going so well. It's 3 seconds right now. He needs to keep it under a total of 6 seconds in order to get the race win as we're getting down to the end of the race here. But let's see how well Walker is able to keep the lead out front. He's quite on an interesting strategy running through. His teammate BFU has 3 seconds of penalties. They're running down there in 7th place. So it's going to be interesting to see. Getting fastest lap as well, but let's see. BFU getting fastest lap down in 7. Let's see who's going to get the fastest lap along the end of the race. And let's see if Walker is able to get DTBFs out of the 6 second in order to take the race win here. Now this is going to be quite interesting getting down to, and I think it's going to be cutting it quite close as well, because the gap is already up to 4.4 seconds. Walker is pushing as much as he can out front. Yep, I would agree with you there, Peter. I don't think DTBF is going to be able to actually keep that gap under 6 seconds. It's already up to 4.9 seconds, and we're just getting over a lap here. There's still about 5 laps left in this race to go, and Walker definitely already 5.2 seconds. Walker is getting that gap over 6 seconds very easily here right now. Codfish and Haywood out of the race. Unfortunately, what happened to both of them? I'm not sure if they retired into the pits or not. But that's going to leave us with about 13 drivers in the race here right now. Walker getting fastest lap once now again, taking that away from his teammate. So it might be one of these Red Bulls getting the fastest lap by the time we get to the end of the race. We'll see how it goes though. But so far so good in the race, and the gap is already over 6 seconds, so we gotta look away from that for DTBS getting P1 in this race. Looks like Walker will be able to get his P1. DTBS will be able to take second place in the race, and it looks like Ethan might be able to take third place. Mr. Rachel will be taking fourth. Software can take fifth. Maddie can take sixth. Beefy can take 7. Seb is gonna take 8. Scooby looks like he might have a switch with Jay Kelly there because of the amount of penalties that they have. 12 seconds for Scooby, and Jay Kelly has 8, and a gap is about a second, so I think that's going to be a switch with the two of them. And then Butler there is going to get 11. Vance is going to be able to take his 12th position, and Vintage will be able to finish here in 13. I think that's how he's going to be finishing, provided everything stays the same as it is right now. Gap from between Walker and DTBS now up to 7.6 seconds. So Walker's doing pretty well at improving that gap, but he's pushing pretty hard. That's why he got about 2 penalties working with it there. So 6-second penalties. He needs to be careful out front though. If he gets another penalty, he needs to take the gap over 9 seconds, which he does seem to be. It seems like that's the aim here right now. He's pushing the gap as much as he can to try to get it past 9 seconds just in case he gets another penalty. I think that's what he's trying to do here right now. Let's have a look out front to where he's going. Let's get on board with him and have a look at the racing plan he's taking here right now. So he definitely is pushing as much as he can to get that gap over 9 seconds. He's about to go actually, so he's doing pretty well on these soft tires here. And that gap is already over 9 seconds now, so even if Walker gets another penalty in the race, he's still going to be able to finish in P1. DTBS is going to have to take second place in this race here right now. What's happening down in the back with Jay Kelly and Scooby here right now? A bit of a switch between the two of them. So Jay Kelly gets up into 9th place already in the race. Scooby down to 10th here right now. It's supposed to be a switch between the two of them after they get across the line because of penalties. But Jay Kelly doesn't want that. He's already gotten up into 9th position in the race. I'll be honest, this has been quite interesting in this race so far. A little bit of sprinkle as rain, and then switching back to dry tire. Quite a bit of stranger strategy for everyone in the race. I'm not sure if everyone expected that to happen or not. With the radar, I'm quite sure they actually saw the weather and know that it probably was going to drizzle a little bit in the rain, or a little bit of rain actually, but I'm not sure if they expected to go onto the wet tires and then get back off and go back to the dry tires as well. So we'll see how they much it actually allows them to finish out front. What's happening here? So 10.5 seconds is the gap now between Walker and DTBS. Looks like he definitely will be finishing P1. DTBS will have to settle here for P2 in the race, and Ethan will have to take P3 as it is here right now. But still, getting a podium position for Ethan, not too bad. Let's have a look as it is right now. Who has gained the most positions in the race as it is? And that seems to be Scooby there, who's gained 9 positions up from the start of this race. Currently in 10th place and running. So not too bad. We'll see who gets fastest. Who's going to get fastest lap in this race? I'm not sure who's getting that as yet. Might be between the two Red Bulls. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. But so far, running pretty well with everyone running in the race here. We still got 13 drivers about to finish. Unfortunately, though, we started with 19 drivers in this race. We lost about 6 drivers. That's Codfish, Haywood, Sniper, Dean, Mad Nathan, and Fat Mamba there. But we still got a good 13 drivers to finish off this Singapore Grand Prix. So looking forward to see how these guys finish off here and how what positions they're going to get, if anything's going to change because of penalties. We'll have a look at that as well. But I think it's going to finish just about as it is here right now, I think. Because we already got Jay Kelly switch it off with Scooby there for P9. And we get Vans Racing about a lap behind Butler there. So they might have to finish just as it is here right now. So I don't think there's going to be any. Most of the red having 3-second penalties. Walker the only car with a 6-second. Then Jay Kelly with an 8-second penalty. Scooby there 12. Butler 8. And Vintage there a 5-second penalty. So race has slowed down just a bit at this point. Just a bit of where I'm getting tired of talking as well. But yeah, it's been quite an eventful race, I gotta say, for the Singapore Grand Prix here for round 6, I think it was, of 23 guys. I remember it's a 23 races for this season, so I think it's going to be quite an interesting full 23 races, and hopefully we're able to do every single one of them. I'm trying not to miss any race as it is right now, and we'll be getting back with the Wednesday division for PGL as well to try and get that race going. Also good racing happening on the Wednesdays, so we'll look forward to the next race that we do have there. We did miss a few races, unfortunately, sorry about that guys, but we'll be getting back going with that again. I do try to do as much of these as I can for a week with the time that I have. I do like to keep myself busy, I guess. I'm not used to just being, if I'm home and not doing a stream, I'll probably just be sleeping and getting some rest. That's the only thing I'll say. But yeah, guys, has been an interesting race. We're on lap 30 right now. Well, let's follow on with Walker here. Where is he out front? So he's running, where is he on track? Getting into sector 2 now of lap 30. So let's see how the rest of the grid is actually getting through. We're going to follow him. Gets on through that. We got Mr. Ray here has a 3.4 second gap to Ethan out front, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch up as it is there right now. Going down to Scooby here. He's chasing after Jay Kelly. Trying to get up into 9th if he can. They did have a switch earlier on, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that position up. That's, I think, a front runner car trying to get through him there right now. Probably one of the Red Bulls. Either Beefy or Walker trying to get up that position there. As he's getting to the side, allowing him to get on through. But yeah, guys, has been quite interesting with the races here so far. In case you guys missed anything, we did have about 3 different race streams happening for today. This is the third where we're on. We had ISRL Academy Tiers 1 and 2. Both of them actually did a mix today, racing in the same race. So we had that earlier on. Then we had IFRL. We had Group 2 on the channel there as well. And now we're having a PGL Sunday Division here. So if you guys missed anything with any of the races, have a look. All of the videos will be on the channel. Remember, guys, please, guys, do leave a like on the stream just to show your support on the channel here as well. Now we're getting into the final lap here right now of the Singapore Grand Prix getting wrong. Yep, that's what I was saying, guys. Do make sure you guys leave a like on the channel for all the videos that you do watch. Make sure you guys are new to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow on with the other races that we do have coming up. That's Butter with another penalty. Once again, thank you very much, Peter, for the support on the channel, for the donation you made on the stream there. Really appreciate your support that you've been having going through so far. And I do have to have you on for a commentary with one of these streams on a Sunday. It has to be on a Sunday because it'll actually save me from talking so much for the past, I think, a total of about 5 hours at least. Yeah, about 5 hours total of streaming for today here. So quite a bit of time. With that. So we got Walker getting into sector 2, getting wrong here right now, so he's going to finish off. Looks like he's going to be taking a race win for the Singapore Grand Prix for PGL Sunday Division here. So not too bad of a finish for him. We'll be able to see who gets driver of the day as they get across the line here very, very shortly. The excitement has slowed down just a little bit coming down to the end of the race here, guys, unfortunately. But yeah, it was quite an exciting race from the start, coming all the way up to the point just about a few laps ago where it started to slow down with the gaps that we had. Mr. Ray getting a 1 second gap between Ethan there right now, so he's actually gaining some time as he was going through the final few laps of this race. So maybe if you had another 10 laps or so to go, you might have been able to actually get by and maybe get up into a podium position there. We're not sure how that would have gone. But things can change even at this point here right now if someone does get another penalty. And the gap is already under a second between Ethan and Mr. Ray. And there goes Walker across the line with the fireworks on. That's P1 for him. Race win for the Singapore Grand Prix. And a pretty good finish for him. We got DTBS about to go across the line here in just a bit and take P2 in this race. No penalties for him throughout the entire race, so really good job on him so far as he goes across the line, takes P2. Ethan coming around right now to take 3rd place in the race and 3rd place onto the podium there as well. We got Mr. Rage finishing just behind him in P4, and then we got, where is Sofdar coming around here. He's going to be taking P5 in the Mercedes as he gets around and gets across the line in just a bit here as well, because we got a bit of a gap between a few of our cars going through. Looks like Vintage finishes 13, Butler in 11, Scooby in 10, Jay Kelly there in 9th, already across the line. Sofdar takes 5th, Beefy coming across the line, takes 6th position here right now. We got Maddie about to go across the line and take 7th position as it is. And then we got Seb, he's coming around in sector 2 right now, and he's going to be taking 8th position in the race here. Hello Ethan, thank you for joining on the chat there, and congratulations on your podium finish there, my friend. Very good race and not too bad finishing on the podium there. And looks like Vans Racing will be taking 12th And we got Seb about to go across the line in just a few turns more time, so we're going to wait for him to get across the line. I think he's the last driver left to get across the line before we get to our final results and see who gets driver of the day on this one here. But still, overall, a pretty exciting race, I gotta say. Pretty eventful race, I gotta say, getting through. Just coming down to the last few laps, got a bit spaced off with the drivers with the gaps that they got. But Mr. Rage was starting to catch up to Ethan there, gap down to 0.6 of a second before you cross the line, and that is him across the line here. So let's have a look one final time, guys, at the results as it is here right now. So Seb gets 8 on the race there for, I think it's his first race with PGL there. Scooby getting driver of the day. Not too bad on him there for getting that. So congratulations to Scooby there for getting driver of the day. Let's have a last look at our results before we get off the stream here, guys. Once again, guys, thanks very much to Peter again for the support he put out to the stream and giving us a donation on the stream there as well. Always on, always happy to have him on as well. Alright, so let's have a last look at these results here as it is. Quite an exciting race. So there we go. Walker takes the race win, P1 for him, and gets fastest lap in the race there as well. DTBF takes second place in this race. Ethan finishes third on the podium. Then we got Mr. Rage there finishing 4th just behind his teammate. Salvador finishes 5th. We got Beefy finishing 6th. Maddie finishes 7th. Seb finishes 8th. J. Kelly finishes 9th. Scooby finishes 10th. We got Butler finishes 11th. Vans Racing there finishes 12th. Vintage in 13th. Codfish takes 14th for that. Didn't finish the race. Haywood in 15th. Sniper 16th. D in 17th. Matt Nathan 18th. Fat Mama there 19th on the grid. Anyway, guys, that is how it's going to close out for this session here. Thank you guys once again for joining on to this race session. And if you guys missed any of the other races that we did today, do check it out. The videos are on the channel. There are 3 total race streams that we did for today. And all 3 quite exciting races. So have a look at all of them. Please make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. Once again, thank you guys for joining on the stream. Great job from all of the drivers. And thanks to all the leagues allowing me to stream their races as well. Really do appreciate that. And once again, Peter, thank you very much for the support on the stream with the donation there. I'll see you guys on the next stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. British time. That's going to be like 3 p.m. Eastern time for me. So I'll see you guys on that stream tomorrow, guys. So look forward to seeing everyone once again in the live chat there. So thank you guys once again for supporting and joining on the stream.